What's up? Today is UFC 320, and there's some good fights happening tonight. So I figured I'd tell you who I think is going to win, and let you argue with me if you want to. Curious on the outcomes for a lot of things. I think there's some big fights on the line. There's some people that I really enjoy too. Regardless of any of the outcomes, I think we're going to have a really good experience watching some of the bouts that are set up for right now. So just to get started, we'll go ahead and talk about the main event, make our way kind of down the line a little bit. Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. This is lightweight, heavyweight. Lightweight, heavyweight. This is a light heavyweight bout for the title. Pereira is looking to come back from a loss previously to Ankalaev. I'm sure if you watched that fight, a lot of people felt that towards the end, Pereira was trying to, or starting to, really get into his groove. At least a lot better than the first few rounds. And so I'm curious to see if he can get there tonight earlier on, or if he's going to kind of struggle trying to figure out the wrestling with Ankalaev. It's fascinating to find out at the very least. So if he doesn't win tonight, it doesn't really matter. He's done a ton for the UFC, just even in terms of advertising. So I'm sure that they'll have opponents for him and things that he can go and do. I think he's also expressed interest in actually doing some professional boxing as well outside of the kickboxing world that he originally started in. So, I think that there's some options for him. However, personally, I think he'll win tonight. And that's just because I've seen him fight so many times, and I think that he's the kind of guy who thrives on his losses. So, I don't know. We'll find out. The co-main event, my handy-dandy notebook tells me, is Merab Dvalishvili and Corey Sandhagen. Dvalishvili's on a 13-fight win streak, and this is the first title fight that Sandhagen has gotten. Quite honestly, that is surprising to me. I would have expected Sandhagen to have gotten a title fight 2 years ago. The dude has done really well. He's had a couple of losses in his career that maybe have set him back a little bit, but in terms of his expertise on the sport, he's certainly somebody that you can listen to and understand that he knows the ins and outs of it a lot further than just being physically adept to being a fighter. So I'm excited for this match. I think the Sandhagen and Merab fight is going to be the best of the night. I could be wrong. I don't know. We might see these guys really trying to. I think it's going to go either way. They're going to test the waters. They're going to dance around a lot, or it's going to be start to finish movement. I don't know. For that fight, personally, I am having a hard time seeing Sandhagen winning, especially with Dvalishvili's dominance in the last few fights. I personally think Sandhagen probably would have beat Sean O'Malley too, though. So, I don't know. My heart wants Sandhagen to win, but my brain says Merab is going to take it. And Merab, I think, is a fun guy. I had the opportunity to take a photo with him, and that was interesting. He's kind of quiet. That was fun. I like the guy. Anyways. Other key fights, Jiri Prochazka and Khalil Roundtree. Man, I'll tell you what, guys, I've been waiting for Jesus to come back. I haven't really been paying attention much to the UFC lately, so this one surprised me. I wasn't expecting it, although I should have. I think this will be a great fight as well. Judging the way that Jiri handled himself in the Pereira fight, I think that he'll win tonight, personally. I think Khalil showed us that he has a long way to go, although he can stand toe-to-toe with the best of them. Watch me be totally wrong, though, and there'll be an intense knockout tonight. Prochazka's had a couple of pretty intense ones, and those things are hard to recover from. So I think there's a likelihood that he could get a good hit and it might not be the best thing for his brain. Hopefully, both fighters are protected. You know, when we watch these things, it is important to pray and hope for the best. Obviously, we like to see people compete, but we never want to see people have life-altering injuries. So I think that one is an intense one, and I'm curious to see how that comes to fruition. Josh Emmett and Youssef Zalal in the featherweight division. Josh Emmett's weird. He's like a bald wizard, and when he's not with a beard, he looks like kind of a mouse man. And so I'm going to call him the Mighty Mouse of this. No, that's not a good comparison. I don't know. I think Josh Emmett has some real power in his hands. Youssef Zalal, I think, has a lot more dominance as an all-around fighter. But I think I'm going to go with Josh Emmett on this one, personally. Magomedov and Joe Pyfer. Man, both of these guys. All right, so here's my thing. I don't really care that much for Pyfer. You know, I recognize the story and I see the rising potential. I just haven't felt personally convicted in terms of his fighting style. So, you know, Magomedov, sometimes with guys who have names like that, you have to be careful. I'm going to go with Magomedov on that one tonight. But, you know, watch me be wrong on all of these fights. This is a big possibility. And if that's the case, then watch my channel so that you know who not to bet on. Thanks, guys, and have a good one.